Oh, I think I'm on. P-tube. Peace to the east, west, north, and south. This is Fleurbrun coming to you today with the new topic of discussion. Check on in. Hey everyone. Hope everyone's well and thriving. I'll wait until a few people check in because normally you're not used to me coming in on well, it's actually Friday. It's a love day. It's Venus Day. And it is Sag season. Big up to all the Sages in the house, you masterful centaurs, you. It is our season. We will be setting the planet ablaze. So check on it. So wait until, make sure you put a handy dandy like on the video if you like the content and you like what I share. It makes me come on more often, makes YouTube pay less attention. Well, they pay attention to me regardless. Big up to YouTube for the hateration. Hold on, let me take a sip for YouTube and the haters. Let me do a little ASMR for y'all. Yes, I'm still here. For the haters, hold on, before you put your dislike, I'm still here. And gratefully, I am still well. And gratefully, I'm still saucy. And gratefully, I'm still powerful. So if you're a hater, let me take a sip for you. A taste of the elixir of probably a nightmare to some of you. Anyway, check on him. Hey, Yafi. Hey, Al. Hey. Hey, Jose. You want to go on Zoom tonight? I know y'all missed me last night, but I had to, give some family love. I give you all of my attention. Hey, Jennifer. I give you all of my attention, but I had to give family my attention last night. You know what I'm saying? Oh, got little ones coming. Come on in. Check on in. Okay. So let's get into the topic of discussion. I can't really. Hey, Purple Goddess. I kind of see y'all. I will be on Sunday on Zoom, so I will definitely be back on Sunday. Hey, Susu. Susu, I like saying your name. I said it last night to my mother, and she was like, "Oh, that's so is she Creole?" I was like, "She might as well be." She said her name is Susu. Susu is like any French people, if you know. Us Creoles, I think all French people, we do this. We always make nicknames like Marcel is Cecil. My nickname is Dedel. my my auntie's name, who's Carmen, is Memen. We always like make the cutest like we finite and make like slurs, like little breaches of our names. So it's very French, Susu. So I said Susu last night. My mother was like, "Ah, is she French?" I was like, "She might as well be." Anyway, anyway. Hey, Kay. Yeah, Kay, you know about that? All the Creoles know about this. It's some, I don't know. I do it myself too. So anyway, let's get into the topic of discussion. I wanted to talk about the quote unquote secret space program that is literally been talked about. I think it was created by Corey Good. Corey Good, I think he coined the term. Even though, excuse me, you can't really coin a secret space station because that's been in every UFO movie, every Star Trek, every Star Wars, like Buck Rogers. If you know what Buck Rogers is, that means you're a person of a certain age. Big up to all the women of a certain age who know Buck Rogers. Do y'all know what Buck Rogers? I used to boogie boogie boogie. If you know what Buck Rogers is, you about that life. Buck Rogers. I mean, anybody who's been a part of, Doctor Who, basically, you know that a term, you can't really coin a term that already exists. You can say it and create another meaning behind what that is. But secret space program is just basically a secret. That's a space program. Da, da, da. But I want to tell everyone, and just to note that I am laying claim that I am the secret space program. Anyone who is a contactee or part of the galactic sect who's been seated here hybrid wise is part of the secret space program. So I want to take away the mystique from a term that was coined by a man who is basically replicating and defining what has always been said on all of these shows. And I just want to let the draconians know, and the crocodilians, because the draconians, the term I did coin, myself, was the crocodilians. I wanted to lay claim and just let the crocodilians and the draconians know that the Andromedans are here, and what you normally do, know that you will be seen and you will be dealt with accordingly. Okay, that's a threat. That's just a promise. Because last night I had a visitation from quite a few draconians and crocodilians, and it looks like they're planning to do a mass slaughter of sheeple. Okay, you know, this is why I tell many of you, keep yourself woke. You aren't a victim to anyone else's plans or agendas if you are awakened to the universal fabric of how you coexist. This is all a holographic system. We are all interfacing in a holographic world where everything is being replicated and created via our electrical neural synapses that is assisting in projecting what is we have as a collective created in our mind's eye. Okay, so you need to stay woke, because what I saw last night was insidious, and the draconians, the crocodilians, are planning a coup d'etat on some sheeple and some cow. And why I say this is because when I saw them doing this, again, you know, after enjoying family, I love, and you know, I have to give it, you know, as much as I demonize the holidays, as I always demonize the holidays, because they're usually based in some sort of ritual, some low field satanic Masonic ritual that they create to try to harvest your energy. You already know, so that's what they do. But what I will say is, for the first time in a long time, I decided to enjoy with my family, and I did. I don't know if you're there already. I hope you're there. If you can see me, put a 13. It looks like they're shutting down my feed. I didn't even get to the conversation yet. Are you there? Good. Okay, so let me get started. So this is intel that I have to tell you, and I wanted to make sure I came here with strength and fortitude so that I can let you know that in your higher awareness, you aren't a victim to anything. But what I did denote last night after doing a family gathering, I went home and I had literally been pulled into a vortex. Now, many of you who are on Zoom know that my house has become a portal, and I was pulled into a vortex where I had seen and I foreseen that the draconians were basically, it was like someone had let these people. Now, I'm going to give you the intel, and a lot of this is going to be, so let me know if you can already. They stopped the feed. Can you see me? Put a 13 when you can see me. Okay, let me go. They're going to try to stop this because I'm giving you a warning. And the only people who will take this warning are the people who don't think I'm crocodiddles. They're planning a coup. The helicopters are already coming. So just know that, take my information and go with it. Okay. The helicopter. Oh, sugar plum. Okay. The draconians are planning a coup. The crocodilians are planning a coup. They're planning to do a mass slaughter of people. Now, what I denoted last night is that they're planning to, there's going to be some sort of gathering. Either it's a presidential gathering, either it's I wouldn't say a contest where everyone's gathering for one person to speak, or like small people to speak. It's being pre-planned, so I believe it probably would be what I consider to be I don't want to say it's a false flag in that it's being pre-planned and it's purposefully being done to I don't want to use the word rid of a lot of people. Okay, so I want to give my people the forewarning, and let me state this again, as my Andromedans are here to stay. Know this. We aren't intimidated. We aren't fazed by the crocodilians in any which way. They are doing what they always do, but I want many of you to realize that your actions, your deeds, your lack of non-awareness will allow or disallow from you being victimized by these huge crocodilian type beings, okay? And they have always been here, This isn't something new, but they're planning to get rid of as many people as possible. And this is going to be a planned execution of a multitude of people at one time. So I'm unsure of where it's going to be. I know how it's going to happen. It is being set up as we speak, whether it's at a stadium, it's somewhere where a lot of you are, I don't want to say you, because you're smart enough not to be there, okay? It's somewhere where there's going to be a large sum of people, and I can't tell you where it's going to be, but it's already pre-planned, and it's it's either at a concert hall, a stadium. It could be the presidential announcement. It's somewhere. But when I tell you that you need to stay clear of anywhere like this where there's huge gatherings, because the amount of crocodilians I saw was frightening. They literally were setting up these crocodilians to go and eat and feast on all of these sheep. And they basically were like set there like as food. Literally, they were set out there as food for fodder. Just being placed there almost like, you know how you put like, you know, like how you put a carrot in front of a horse to make it walk. Literally, it was a setup. It was a setup. So I just want you to know that there isn't anything that you can have occur within your life that you haven't given permission. And make sure that you are being very mindful of the company you keep. The draconians are everywhere. If you think not, they have a lot of friends. They have a lot of minions. So if you overstay, hold on. I have little people around. So back to the number one thing. Many of you know that we're coming upon a very major alignment. It is Sagittarius season. Let me say this to all you fire signs in the house. Big up to all the Sagittariuses, including myself, that this is our season. You know, we went into the underbelly of Scorpio to pull out. Put a 13 if you can see me again. Ever I give you a true message, all you do is let people know that what I'm speaking is true. Because if it wasn't true, why would I get so much pushback? Why would I get so much buffering if what I'm sharing isn't true? See, this is how clownery and how insidious and how foolish you are. You martyr me by allowing for everyone to see how you'll break up my feed. You'll let all these fake intellists talk all day. Can't stay up, won't stop. Oh, goodness gracious. Is it really that serious? You want to do dirt and you don't even want me to give warnings to my own people? This is the crazy part. I'm giving warning. Most people don't listen to me. They don't come to this channel. Why do you care that I'm sharing it with my own people? My people won't be in your slaughter. I'm going to make sure of it. You dastardly crocodilians. Leave my people be. We are under a different court of order on this planet. We're allowed to warn our own people. Leave this platform alone and go and work with the other ones who work on your behalf. Okay? Because these people are woke. All right, let me go again. The Andromedans are here in the droves. We have a massive amount of support. That's why I can make this message and feel strong and powerful and unfazed gratefully, because I know that I am protected and I have a host of big, huge, melanated dreadlock beings who work with the serpentine energy, who work safe. The company you keep. Remember, I am the space program. I represent the alignment and the hybrids that were seeded on this planet to allow for my people, for my species, for my frequency beings to be able to hit that glass ceiling and to be able to free themselves and become fully sovereign by the time you and your bastards are feasting on all the other sheeple. Okay? Go play in your own playground. Seeing the future. Make Because if someone isn't awake and it's look disappointing, sheeple, sure you aren't are here woke, if they aren't aware of the insidiousness of the lies of mass destruction that are being disseminated via television, via the projected low elf waves that are basically infiltrating people's minds via their cell phones, the very cell towers that they're emitting this frequency that puts thoughts and frequencies in their mind to keep them low. If that is where they are, family, leave them be. All you will do is give the crocodilians won't let me talk today. So all I have to say, family, I gave you the message. It's pretty simple. There isn't much that I can tell you other than that. Be mindful of the electronics in your hand. Be mindful of the company you keep. And again, all I can say for those, disallow others from pulling you into their low awareness and their low frequencies, because it can literally be a testament to to you losing your life force or your physicality based on you following one of these sheeple into the slaughter. Okay, the draconians are planning a coup. Where it's going to be, I don't know, but it's a lot of people and it's a lot of draconians. I haven't set space. I mean, to feed on these poor sheeple, and some made it, but they were torn up and mangled. So I'm just saying, I know this isn't healthy for some to listen to. So if you aren't about the shenanigans of the extraterrestrial life and the celestial imprint that we are all coexisting in, whether you agree or acknowledge or not, we are living in a dimensional fold where our holograph is something that we are all collectively producing as a united front. And if you understand and understand this, then you'll realize that anything can be placed in our holograph. We are and affected by the nanos in our bodies. And I've talked about the nanos, the nanotechnology, and I don't want to beat a dead horse with this, but if you realize how much nano is in everyone and how it's impeding on your very thoughts, and it's why you will think a thought and it comes up on your phone as an advertisement. That's how deep this really goes. Remember, we're working in a world of extraterrestrials, and many people are thinking that they're still living in a world where they have control and say over their general environment. That is a lie, and that is propagated by those who are in control of your very being. Okay, some of you are creations of these from these diabolical scientists. You've been geoengineered genetically to be able to uphold their dark agenda. So that's why I say there isn't a lot of people who are aware that even their awareness is controlled and engineered by these beings. Okay, clear yourself of your nanos. Until you clear yourself of your nanos, you're going to be a host for entities inside your body that will always try to hijack your mind. They're going to ride your synapses like a wave, and they're going to go and hijack your brain. I know it sounds crazy, but if you look at the world around you, it doesn't sound so crazy anymore. I mean, 5 years ago, some of you thought I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You did. And a lot of you are back to watch the things that I've done in detail to you come to fruition. But there's another part. This is the very beginning. This is just the beginning. You think that this is something that you have to end of a cycle and beginning of another. Remember, at the end of cycle, what does that mean? It's a demolition crew. The demolition crew is here. It means they are going to destabilize and crash and destroy the very thing that they geoengineered to create to sustain their consciousness or their agendas. Now it's being destroyed. And if you think that it's going to get better from here, it isn't going to get better for some who are lacking in awareness. If you're lacking in awareness and you're overrun by nanos and you're eating chicken and turkey of mass destruction, because fortunately I told my family yesterday that if you eat any chicken or poultry or turkey, I won't be attending anything. And because my presence is really respected and honored, there wasn't anyone in my life, in my gathering yesterday, that engaged in any turkey of mass destruction. Now, did they think I was a little hokey? Maybe. Did they really, believe in what I say? Kind of, sort of. But I start to make more sense when the world is looking crazy. Because remember, most of us are the pink, I won't say black sheep of the family. Most of us are the pink and purple sheep of the family. Where most people thought we were crazy. They thought we were one screw loose. Put a like on a video if you can see me right now. Do you guys see me? You can see me. Okay. Wow. They knocked me off completely. Off the live. Oh my gosh. You would think I was like predicting the presidential election or something like that. Woo! Welcome everyone. Welcome back. I'll wait until a couple more people know I'm back in. I had to dip and dive. I had to drive somewhere else. They kept trying to defrag my live. It's crazy. Crazy. Why? It's because they're crazy. They're crazy people. They're sociopathic. They're not really people though. They're really crocodilians. And the crocodilians have ruled over this planet for some time along with insectilians. But unfortunately for us, unfortunately for them, unfortunately for us, you have me, who's here to kind of like pull the veil back so you can see a little bit. So check on him. Okay, so okay, so I'll wait until a few more people check in. I think it's just what it is. Hey, An. Yeah, I had to relocate, sister. Serious. They kept trying to defrag my live. So now I'm at another undisclosed location. I think it'd be a little better because there's a lot of paranoid people where I am. So in this location, usually when there's that many paranoid people, usually I have better reception. So let me go back into the conversation. I was made aware last night. And like I said, I haven't ever seen this many crocodilians in my life show up at one feeding. I hadn't ever seen this. So they're going to show up in the droves. They've already pre-programmed this particular event to occur. And it's a setup. It's basically a setup. Somebody opens up the door to have this happen. Again, I think it's a stadium. It's where people would gather. Remember, we have cucarachis. So I got to think to myself, there aren't many places that they're allowing people to gather in that number unless it had to do with something political. You know what I mean? Or something, can't be a concert because there's no concerts. Hold on. For that being said, there's a setup there's an event being set up as we speak. They had a Macy's parade yesterday? Did they really? Though they told you not to have more than 6 people in your house, right? Listen to the insidiousness of this. They won't let you have more than 6 people in your house for the holidays, right? Celebrating the slaughter of 1 million or so plus Native Indigenous Americans, right? They won't let you have a gathering like that, right? When I go to Universal Studios, there's like hundreds of people there, okay? So, but they'll tell you not to gather in your own house where you can disinfect, where you can have people practice, healthy hygiene, they'll let you go out into like places like amusement parks, because I'm in Florida. There isn't anything shut down here. Okay. Okay. And you really believe these clowns. I'm just saying, yeah, to me, that's clownery. How could you allow people to get together in that arena, and that big arena, and but tell them they can't get in a more cozy, small arena where it's safer? I tell you. That being said, I saw a lot of draconians, crocodilians in one spot, and they were being opened. The door was open for them to go and feed on all these people. Some people came up, they were like deformed, mangled. I wasn't in shock, but I was just like in disbelief. You know what I mean? I don't know where it is. I just knew that I had to share it with you. And also share the fact that the Andromedans are here and we got mad backup. Mad backup. So if you're connected to the Andromedans in any which way, you have backup. Backup just means they're not allowed to initiate anything on our behalf, but they can back us up, meaning that their presence will deter certain beings from messing with you. That's it. Look at this. It's been quiet, and then I'm sitting in a spot, and then just new sounds. I tell you, they have Smithitarians everywhere. So all I have to say is be mindful. And again, watch what you eat. Really. If you eat it all. I don't even think the food on this planet is all right to even consume, to be honest. I think everything is infiltrated. And again, this is for a short period of time. So, well, it depends on your consciousness. It's for a short period of time. So remember, this is a collapse. And the collapse is not going to happen in the way that you would probably call it. It'll happen in ways that they will pre-organize and engineer. This is what it is. Yeah, the food isn't food. Like yesterday, I told anyone at my gathering that I wouldn't attend if any food of mass destruction was present. So everything was pretty much organic. The meats that they had were, grass fed. You could never really bank on that. There wasn't any chicken or poultry of mass destruction. It wasn't any pork of mass destruction, because during pandemics, that everything is connected to birds and swine. Right? That's why they call it. And when it's turkey season, they pump those turkeys. I don't care if they're organic or not. If they trying to get at people, they're gonna get at you through what you eat, through how you consume. Remember, they call us consumers. Okay? And you know that they're trying to collapse the system. Somebody was saying yesterday, well, everyone's gonna lose their job. They want you to lose your job. They want all these small businesses to close down. What would be the reason? Because they can control you. They don't need you to work for them anymore. They've got biobots and robotoids to do that. They can do your jobs more efficiently than a person, and they don't have to pay them. All they have to do is pay the fee to create these mechanical, drones, and they can do your job just as efficiently. They don't need you for that. What they need is your energy. So they're going to make everyone codependent on them so that you will have to do what they tell you to do. It's like we live in a communist country, right? They want you to be totally reliant on governmental assistance so that they can literally control your ebb and flow. Because if they control you financially, and you're relying on them for social assistance, they're gonna say, well, if you want food for you and your family, Now, mind you, they've collapsed the system financially and so on. If you want food for your family, you got to get vaccinated. And you're not going to just get one vaccination. It's going to be series because they want to make sure that everything inside you is dead. And if you saw who shared that? One of you, who shared that? One of the Sea Stars, was it something Lone Wolf? Big up to the Sea Star who shared this with me on IG. Do you heard about the 2 testing people who got tested, who volunteered to be tested for the Cucarachi shot? And when they got the Cucarachi shock, they had psychological issues. And one of the ladies said that she felt dead. She felt like there was no God inside of her. God was gone and she was dead. Remember that? Did you guys get a chance to see that? It was kind of bugged out. What did she say? She said she felt dead. She said God was dead inside of her. Hey, Pavel, did you see that? It was crazy. Oh, they said it was removed? Yeah, God was removed. All right? So they're trying to take the God source out of you. Suck it dry. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. So when I share this with you, believe me, it doesn't make you fearful. It's prepare you to hold your stance. Because you should already know how to grow your food. I don't care if you're eating a parsley leaf a day that you grow yourself. That's, if they're going to make you have to rely on them to get food, then you should be only preparing your own food. There wasn't a time we were supposed to be consuming from others. You know, we were supposed to get little things like sugar. Remember, sugar was it was a treat to a household. Remember back in the days, for someone to go out and get candy, that was like an extra. Now everybody eats candy and sugar. Okay, so, you know, if you grow your own things and you aren't reliant on their electricity or their water sources, then you haven't anything to barter with. You know what I mean? There's no bartering with that. A sovereign being is somebody who isn't consuming or being controlled by the necessities of their, you know, of what is required to live, to sustain themselves. If you're reliant on their electricity, I told you, I got pissed off. I remember I told the guy who was a clown. He was a young guy. Let me not disrespect him. He was a young guy. Remember he tried to put a smart meter in my house? And I told him, my neighbor said, go to her house because she's going to tell you no. And I told him to kick rocks, right? So I told him to kick rocks. I was like, I don't want that on my house. I pay for electricity. I'm the one who pays for my electricity. You don't pay me, I pay you. So if I don't want it, what you going to do? You're going to turn it off, right? So if I didn't pay you, you would turn it off, wouldn't you? So why would you think you're okay to come to my house and put something on my house that I haven't let you or you haven't alerted me to? So it was fine. He walked away. Then I went away for a week. What was a week and a half? And came back from New York. What did I see on my house? A brand new smart meter. And they took my shungite off, which made me livid. So they took my old system off that I had made sure I secured and put some stuff on to make sure, you know, some lead paint around. And they took that sucker and they replaced it with a smart meter. So I cursed them out. I had to go pay like the $50 to put the smart meter cover on. Big up to, I put the smart meter EMF cover on it. I spend my money to pay for it and put it on and curse them out and reprotect it. This is what I'm saying, family. There is not, and what their thing was, oh, that's more efficient. When I call them, that's more efficient equipment for us to register how much currency you are using. So my thought was, oh, wow. So even if I pay them, they can do whatever they want because I've given them permission to give me something for my exchange. So am I to be mad at the company that I am contracting, or should I get mad at myself for being reliant on that outside of myself? That's what I'm saying. You know, just like YouTube. I didn't create YouTube. Did you? I don't have a stock in YouTube. Do you? So when YouTube defrags my videos and takes me off of here, can I really get mad at YouTube, or do I have to get mad at myself for relying on this form of communication that I'm utilizing through them? So I can't really get that pissed off at anything that I am contracting with my free will to utilize for something I want or I feel I need. So that being said, is that if you aren't trying to get the Cucarachi shot, I suggest you get to where you can get to and become real sovereign real quick. And when I say sovereign, sovereign is a state of consciousness. It's a heightened awareness, but it also disallows others from creating the narrative for you that's unhealthy without your permission. So you should be self-reliant, meaning that when the electricity turns off for everybody else, because they're all getting PNC, they're all getting Duke Energy, they're all getting what's the other one? Con Edison. When all the electricity is turned off, but you got your own, you'll still have lights in your house, and hopefully they aren't LED lights, right? When they cut off the water source, or they like to pump the water source full of fluoride and chemicalization and all kinds of diabolical, chemical substances through the waterways, you know what I'm saying? Other than metals. When they cut off the waterways, but you have your own well or you have your own water source, you won't be impeded by their actions. When they stop serving food or only give you food of mass destruction, or they say, screw you, you can only go to the grocery store and get food with a card saying that you got the latest and newest, right off, fresh off the petri dish, Cocoracci's shot, that you can't get any food from the grocery stores unless you have a shot card. If you're growing your own food, I don't care if it's like a sweet potato a day. People have to realize we don't really require as much as you think. Right? You remember, I fasted 30 days. I'm a thick woman. I'm a thick one. Big up to all the thickums in the house. We stocked up for the apocalypse. I'm telling you. My mate loves when I said, he loves when I said, I was like, I'm stocking up for the apocalypse. Okay? My body is a beautiful housing network that allows for me to sustain caloric stockpile resources in my body, so that when something like the Cucarachis pandemic comes around, or a host of requirements outside myself to have to consume, to want to consume, I can just lay low and eat up my go through the process of ketosis. Steerage, right? So this is steerage. You know what I'm saying? And then allow any extra that I have to go to my offspring, so I can feed my offspring. And if you're a nursing mother, I know this is crazy because some of you are not adult enough to have this conversation, but I'm talking to the adults in the room. If some of you are adults in this room and you're nursing, some of us are nursing our babies, you have milk that you've sustained in your body, and you could feed the whole household with your milk as long as you have enough liquids in the household. I'm just saying, y'all prefer to drink cow's milk, another species milk, and when I talk about human milk, you get disgusted. Remember, I talked to this man, and he was so dumbfounded that I was saying that human milk is the best source of milk for human beings. Like, why is that so shocking to you, that your own milk from a woman's body, a humanoid's body, is more efficient to a human being than another species that is like 300-400 pounds heavier than you, than that cow or that goats or that I don't know who else gives milk, whatever you get the milk, that's better for you. It's crazy that people will look at you crazy when you say that. That's how socially engineered our environment is, where you can say, I can sustain my husband, my children with my breast milk. And I can, as long as I have steerage, because I have steerage, I can sustain my household and give them milk every day that's healthy from a healthy vehicle, my body. And I can sustain my household with me. That's what makes you women so masterful. I think, let me tell you, you beautiful sea stars out here, let me tell you how masterful Goddess made you. You were equipped to last. You were equipped to sustain your family solely and independently. Do you know how beautiful you are? I think the world tells you that you're deficient. They tell you that you need makeup of mass destruction because you have to make up for things you lack. They tell you that you need to starve yourself until you don't have any resources, because when you don't have enough steerage, milk is really hard to produce. Okay, so they'll make you feel like if you're too thick, you're deficient. If you're too independent in thoughts, that you're not marriage material. If you're too smart, that you're too masculine. If you're too strong, you're too difficult. But I'm here to tell you that you are amazing. You are efficient. You are independently masterful. So when the world tells you otherwise, I want you to remember this, that you are built to last, sea stars. You were the first on this planet, and God darn it, you will be the last on this planet if some of our males don't get it together. Okay? The Andromedans had shown me this a long time ago when I was in a state of feeling like I still required a male. I don't require any male. I want a healthy male. I want a healthy partnership. It isn't required though, because my lineage has pre pre-existed here on Mother Tiamat before there were any male figures. So at the end of the day, I can within my own body create babies without any outsourcing. I can create food and substance for myself. I can literally live without eating and live off the prana or the air or the real solar energy and sustain myself like a plant. Someone was saying, well, eating is required. It isn't, not for everyone. And if I haven't shown you that with 30 days of water fasting, I can't tell you what. I think many of you watch Green, what was the movie? Green, what was that show? I loved it. Oh, Green Frontier. Thank you, Sister Sirius. I watched Green Frontier, and what a masterful. If you haven't seen it, it's beautiful. And remember, my ancestors came from South America, from that region, and she was able to sustain the young lady. The main character was able to sustain herself without eating. It wasn't required for her. She worked like a plant, but she actually had the abilities like a plant. Like she was very in sync with the trees. And you have to think to yourself, who are the people who look like trees on this planet? And if you look like a tree, why wouldn't you have the same abilities as the trees? To be stoic but still resourceful, and can utilize telecommunication through your roots, right? I remember having a dream one time, years ago, and the trees were talking to me, and they were like my sisters. One was like a grandmother, and we were like sisters, and they were saying that I was like them, just different in the way that I physically manifested myself. And I thought to myself, and they said, you look like us. And I thought, how? Your skin is our same color. And I was like, wow, my skin is the color of the tree trunk. Yeah, it is. I never thought about that. My hair is coiled and it goes up to the sun to pick up frequencies of the solar energy. I said, oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. And my feet, when rooted in the ground, pick up all the telecommunications from inner earth. And I utilize that to field in the information that I can verify in the outer earth. I thought, oh my God, my sisters, you were so correct. I'm you and you're me. And I never thought of that, because we had colonizing extraterrestrials come on our planet and tell us that we were black. They told us that we were doo-doo brown, right? Dirt brown. But everything on this earth, including the trees, is brown. It's brown. I was like, oh my gosh, how masterful. That's when I realized that it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And that I was seeing from the observation of those who weren't able to connect to the higher realms of consciousness or to the etheric realms, because they were so limited based on their own diabolical DNA sequencing being capped by being genetic homogenized beings from laboratories that these colonizing species came here and created. So they weren't able to see that far or that deep, because they weren't connected to source. They weren't connected to nature. Because anything in nature you can see, you can connect the dots of nature. That would be something that would be easy. Why don't I see more of these so-called love and light people saying, well, a lot of brown people look like trees. Why don't you hear them say that? All these love and light communities who loves nature and talk about saving animals and trees. How come they never liken brown people to looking like trees when they do? They do. I haven't heard that. I've heard me say that. I've heard some of the jungle people say that. But I haven't ever heard any of these so-called enlightened beings saying anything like that. So I know they aren't connected to the higher realms because they aren't able to put pieces of the puzzle of how certain people are fielded or are created here, and who is naturally from this planet and who isn't. It's no shade. There isn't anything wrong with having visitors to your home. I think I welcome only visitors that are cohesive, that are respectful, that are honoring, and that will respect my home space. But the fact of the matter is, we have colonizing, extraterrestrial, hybrid, cloned type beings here who are projecting themselves as if they're light forces, and they're actually just parasites. Vampiric energies that are here to take in the light and field it in for themselves and make sure it's devoid for all others and lie about it. It's unfortunate, but it's the nature of what we coexist in. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not really upset about it anymore. Initially I was, but I don't care. I had to learn, why do I care about what other people feel about me? Why do I really care about how people who, or beings who aren't connected to me family wise or lineage wise, how they feel about me? It shouldn't even matter. I care about me. And when you care about yourself, you could care less of what others think or feel about you. I know I'm a masterful being. I know the things I do in my life are beautiful and amazing and change and transformative to my environment and to my offspring and to those who love me and to those who just admire me. Why would I care if someone thinks that I'm a fatty who just drinks Starbucks? Why would I care if there are people going on platforms calling me some sort of serpentine, devil, siren? Why would I care? Because if I truly know myself and I'm infinitely connected to source, I would know that what is outside of me isn't really my business, especially if it's about opinions, because I have opinions and you have opinions. And if someone really doesn't care about you, why would they care about your opinion? That being said, family, there is a slaughter planned. I'm going to go back to the conversation I had. There's a slaughter planned. And you notice they'll let me talk about that, right? But they won't let me talk about the event that's about to happen where a lot of people may lose their life, right? So they'll stop my feed when I start to talk about the crocodilians' plan to eat and consume a whole lot of people and put them out to slaughter. There's an event coming up. I don't know where it is. And I share you with this in a very abstract way, but I know it's true. And I wouldn't come with you something like this, especially when it isn't necessarily positive, so to speak. I can't share. I'm not a love and lighter. Let me just say this. For all those people who think I'm a love and lighter, I'm not. I don't come here saying that I am a light being coming here to enlighten the planet. That is not what I am. I'm not a teacher. I'm here sharing my experiences as a sea star here in a small spectrum of, illumination. But this is what will be. Oh, okay. Oh, hold on. Right here. Oh, there we go. Okay, you can see me. I'm sorry about that. You guys okay? You guys okay? Okay, sorry about that. That actually wasn't diabolical. That was just a slight interruption. Okay. Anyway, I hope everyone's well. I'm okay. That was a slight interruption. That wasn't diabolical. Is everyone well? Or maybe I shouldn't keep this video up because it was giving me so many problems. Yeah, I think I'll go to IG. I'm fine. Yeah, it's a lot of resistance. Yeah. All right, y'all, I'm going to go to Instagram because then I can talk to you one-on-one. It's a little better. The resistance is ridiculous. I already gave the warning. Hopefully you can play back the video. Put a like on the video. If you're coming in here late, put a like on your video so it stays up. But I'm going to go to Instagram and talk to you fine folk. I have a little bit of time. So hopefully you'll be able to. But for those who don't have IG, I've given out the warning. I was just going to chat with you for a little longer. But whenever they're resistant like this, they just piss me off, and I'm in my higher self. I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling amazing gratefully. I feel, I feel really enlightened. And because I saw this, I had to just share it with you. And I just want to make sure, people say, well, why do you just share to your people? That's all I can share with. Why would I share with people who don't like me, who don't, and even there's people who come here who are saphocyting me. They're parasites. They just come here, they'll dislike me on the video, but they'll parrot everything I say on other channels. They're just parasites, you know what I mean? But you can't help that because I am on a platform that, does illuminate parasites. All right, so I'm going to IG. Going to IG now. I'll talk to you in like 2.5 seconds. Okay, IG. So IG, here I come. It's like shape shifting. Like I'm going to teleport myself to IG. So here I come, IG. I love you all. Be well, take care, and be mindful of your environment, friends, and family. Okay? We will talk. We will chat later. Peace.